All right. So, hello, I'm Randy and I'm an alcoholic. I'm really grateful to be here as always on a Wednesday. I get to go to London. It's fantastic. No jet lag. And I get to hang out with my friends. So I have so many friends in the room and new people tonight. I think we're on step 5 tonight. Is that correct? What?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me first because there's a lot of new people to the meeting tonight. I'm Randy. I'm an alcoholic. And I also have the disease of alcoholism. For me, when I say I'm alcoholic, that means that my body has become allergic to alcohol. I can never, ever drink alcohol successfully ever again. But my problem isn't alcohol. My problem is alcoholism. It's a disease that centers in my mind. And because I have this disease keeps me restless, irritable, and discontent. It keeps me unsatisfied and fault-finding and opinionated. It keeps me always in a hurry and easily frustrated. And because I have this mind of an alcoholic, this alcoholism, I can't live in the world that I'm in. I can't live to good purpose. I'm constantly at odds with everyone and everything because I have this unsatisfiable fault-finding mind. And so what happens to me is I go out into the world, excuse me, I go out into the world and I think now I'm not drinking, things should be better, and I go to work and I get to work and I'm not that good of a worker because of my mind. I spend a lot of time daydreaming and fantasizing and my mind tells me that I'm better than the boss at work. And it tells me I should be the boss. And it tells me they're not paying me enough. And it's constantly talking to me. And it talks to me in my own voice. And I believe everything it says. And so I'm constantly restless, irritable, and discontent. Discontent means unsatisfied. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had 2.5 years of sobriety, 3 years of sobriety, and I wanted to kill myself a lot. And I thought, this is crazy. I have time. That was time. Why would I want to kill myself? I'm not drinking anymore. Why is my life so terrible? And then I thought, well, I just have bad luck. I'm just an unlucky guy. I have a bad picker. You hear that in AA meetings all the time. I have a broken picker. Well, I don't have a broken picker. I don't. What I have is a fault-finding, opinionated, unsatisfiable mind. So no matter what I get, it doesn't satisfy me. Even when I get exactly what I want, my mind says, oh, that's nice. We got that, but we need that and a Porsche, or we need that and some more money, or we need that and a bigger house. And it's never satisfying. And I'm always driving. I can never be where I am. I always need to be somewhere else. You hear all the time in meetings also, when I get there, I'll be happy. When I get the car, when I get the girl, when I get the right job, when I have the right amount of money in the bank, I'll be happy. And that's the biggest lie going. Because if I'm not happy now, I'm never going to be happy. This is a right now program. It's a program of recovery, and it's 12 steps. And the 12 steps are in order. And I have to live those 12 steps to treat the disease of alcoholism, not to not drink. I can never, ever drink again. And for me, to not drink is to not take the medicine. So for me, not drinking is not a gift. It's a painful experience if I don't have a treatment of the disease. And the 12 steps, the whole purpose of the 12 steps is to have a spiritual awakening, is to have the spirit that's in me awakened so that maybe I could be satisfied. Maybe I could enjoy this moment. Maybe I could just be in the room of an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and not be judging the speaker and not be finding fault with the chairs and the tea and the person I'm sitting next to. Maybe I could just enjoy myself for 1 hour. Just enjoy myself. So challenging with alcoholism. So the whole purpose is to have a spiritual awakening. It's not to not drink. I can never, ever drink alcohol again. But I came to AA for many years thinking that if I didn't have the desire to drink today, that my disease was treated. And that's a lie, because the disease is not drinking. The disease is a mind functioning disease. It's a mind powering disease. And not drinking is just the beginning. And I can never, ever drink alcohol again because of the allergy of my body. There's no telling when I'm going to stop and what I'm going to do. And I black out and I do crazy things. I can't drink alcohol anymore. And then my problem starts. Because now I've got to live in this world without the medicine. And so there's 12 steps. The 5th step says that I'm going to admit to myself and to God and to another human being the exact nature of my wrongs. That is a big order. I can't do step 5 without the other steps in my life. And so just real fast, I'm going to recap the other steps for my life as a way of life in the day that I'm in. I can never, ever drink alcohol again. That's the first principle of the first step. I've become allergic. There's no more good times left for me drinking. It's over. I can't drink alcohol. So now what? So now I walk into step 1, and it says that I also have an unmanageable life. My life that's unmanageable is not my outside life. When I stop drinking, I can tie my shoes. I can drive my car. I can show up for work because I'm not hungover and I'm not too sick to show up. What's unmanageable is my mind. It's what my mind tells me while I'm drinking that makes driving intolerable. And it's what my mind tells me while I'm at work that makes work unbearable for me. It's not the work. I can do the work. Most of the work that I have to do is simple. But it gets so painful because my mind tells me that I'm in the wrong job and I'm getting paid the wrong amount and I should be the boss. And why does he get to be the boss? And I spend the whole day completely wearing myself out on the inside, talking to myself about how wrong everything is. And all I had to do was move some papers from one pile to another pile in an alphabetical order. That's all I had to do. That's not hard. But my mind makes it impossible. And at the end of the first step, it says, I stand ready to do anything which will lift my merciless obsession. I'm not mercilessly obsessed with alcohol today. I'm mercilessly obsessed to have the right amount of money in the bank, the right girlfriend, the right job, the right car, the right haircut, to weigh the right amount of weight, to get paid the right money. I'm mercilessly obsessed always about one thing. But it's not alcohol anymore. It will get to alcohol. If I stay miserable long enough, I will get back to where I become obsessed with drinking again. If I don't maintain my spiritual connection, I will get back to a place where alcohol will seem like a solution again. But when I stand ready to do anything which will lift my merciless obsession, I get to walk into step 2. And step 2 tells me that I'm going to come to believe right now in this moment, no matter how much I believed yesterday or earlier today, right now, I'm coming to believe that there's a power that's greater than me, and that power is the power that could restore me to sanity. I have lost the job. I've spent my whole life trying to figure out the right answers to everything, and I think if I get the right answer, then I'll be restored to sanity, and then I can relax and enjoy myself. And all that self-talk that goes on in my mind, which is going on right now, I'm sure a lot of you are talking about what I'm talking about to yourselves, politely. But all that self-talk that's going on in your head and in my head is me trying to restore me to sanity. And the second step says, no, you're the wrong guy. This is not about being willing to believe. It's about coming to believe something new. I'm the wrong guy to restore me to sanity. I can no longer ask me what I think about anything. Now it sounds like this. Power, what do you think? What do you think? Could you help me be the man you want me to be? Could you help me listen like the dying could listen? Could you help me be here in this room right now? And it starts right now. You're not going to do this when you get home. It's a right now program. If I'm not rightly relating myself to my higher power right now, I am never going to do it. Because this is the only moment that I can have a relationship with a higher power is right now. In this room, right now. That's why I could come to a meeting and be restored to sanity, because in the meeting, I'm reminded that I'm the wrong power for my life. And I could start sharing my life with this power. Could you be with me right now? Could you help me with my mind? And something happens when I do that. I get a moment of peace. And as I collect these moments of peace, I start to find that, hey, every time I go to this higher power and I share my life with this higher power, I get some peace. And when I have enough of those moments, I walk into step 3 and I say to myself, okay, I can make a decision today. I either get my mind, which is constantly restless, irritable, and discontent, or I could share my life with this higher power and be restored to sanity, which feels a lot like being at peace. And I can make that decision. I can turn my thoughts and my actions, my life and my will and my life, my thoughts and my actions over to the care of God, as I understood him, because it's now understood by me that when I share my life with this higher power, that something happens. It's God as I understood him. It's my understanding. You have to get your own. Everybody has to get their own understanding of their higher power. I can't give you mine. You could agree with mine, but you can't have mine. You have to go get your own. And that's why it always says in the book, God as I understood him. Because I did something and I had an experience and now it's mine. I understood it. I don't understand God. I'm never going to understand God. But I have my experience of God. It's mine. And so that's 1, 2, and 3. And that's the basis of the whole program. Because if I could be in a place of having made a decision to turn my will and my life, my thoughts and my actions over to the care of God right now, I'm done. It's done. That's all that I need, is to be in that relationship with that higher power. The rest of the steps are to help me to stay there, because I can't stay there if I'm full of resentments. Because I'll see somebody as I walk out of the meeting, I'll see somebody and it triggers my resentments, and my resentments take me back to self and my judgmental, critical, fault-finding mind. And then I'm back in alcoholism again. And I'll stay in alcoholism until I get in enough pain to where I'm willing to do anything that will lift my merciless obsession. And right, so I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing the dance. If I do 4, I have a chance of starting to see who I really am sober, no alcohol. I'm a resentful, angry, fearful, self-delusional person. And I'm selfish and self-centered in the extreme. You know what it says in page 60 to 63? It says, what is my basic trouble? It should answer that question with, I drink too much alcohol and I do stupid things. That should be my basic trouble. This is the book, Alcoholics Anonymous. But it doesn't say that. It says, what is my basic trouble? And then it answers it with, aren't I really a self-seeker, even when trying to be kind? Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat today. Isn't that crazy that I'm a self-seeker, even when trying to be kind? That's my basic trouble. So I'm going to have to see that, and I start to see how much of a self-seeker I am in step 4. And I see how unmanageable my life is by me in step 4. And I write down all of these things about me in step 4. And step 4 is like step 1 for sober people. That's what I say. Step 4 is really seeing the unmanageable life, but seeing it sober, not drunk. It's real easy to see the unmanageable life when I look back at crashed cars and not being able to keep a job and all the trouble that alcohol caused me. But now I'm looking at all the trouble my mind has caused me, drunk or sober, in 4. And in step 5, I share that mind with another person, with my sponsor. And that sponsor shows me, they hold up the mirror and they show me who I am. And for the first time in my life, I start to become rigorously self-honest with myself. I start to see who I really am in step 5. In the big book, in step 5, it says this. Sorry. More than most people. More than most people. I read the book in the eye because I think this is a book for my life. More than most people, I, the alcoholic, lead a double life. I am very much the actor. To the outer world, I present my stage character. This is the one I like my fellows to see. I want to enjoy a certain reputation, but I know in my heart I don't deserve it. Isn't that amazing? I go around in life and I smile and I pretend like I'm this great guy on the outside, and I'll give up my seat on the tube to an older lady. But inside I'm going, why'd I do that? I was comfortable. She didn't need that seat. Who am I kidding? I don't care about that old lady. Oh man, rigorous self-honesty is a painful experience. But I do that, I do that everywhere in my life. I walk into work and I smile and I pretend like I'm happy with what they're paying me and I'm happy to do this job. But inside I hate it and I know I'm moving on the first chance I get and I'm finding fault with it. But outside I'm smiling. Thanks for the paycheck. I'll see you next week. So step 5 is really a lot like step 2, where I'm being restored to sanity. I'm seeing who I really am. The book says in How It Works, it says that those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Well, the reason I don't completely give myself to this program is because I am constitutionally incapable of being honest with myself. And until I do step 5 and step 9, I can't really see who I am. And so I give myself half-heartedly to the program. Those people don't recover. The cannots are the wet-brained alcoholics. That's what I was shown, that the cannots are the wet brains. I'm not a cannot. I am a will not. I will not completely give myself to this simple program because I'm constitutionally incapable of being honest with myself. I can't see how sick I am from the disease of alcoholism sober and how much I need to make a decision today to turn my will and my life over to the care of God, my thoughts and my actions over to the care of God. So I still try to run my life because I still think I'm a good power. I still think one day I'm going to get it right. I have the delusion so deep inside of me, the delusion that I'm going to wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world if I could only manage well. You know what that means? That means I have the delusion that I'm going to go to an AA meeting and I'm going to hear a good speaker and I'm going to learn a new trick and then I'm going to go out in the world and be able to get what I want. That's managing well. Or I'm going to read a self-help book and then I'm going to be able to manage well. Or I'm going to read a book about how to make a lot of money and then I'm going to learn something and I'm going to manage well. I have that delusion so deep inside of me. But the truth is that all knowledge and all power is already inside of me. It's already there. All I have to do is tap into it. And when I tap into it, I have the best life I've ever known. And that's what Alcoholics Anonymous is about. It's not about learning something new. It's about surrendering to being willing to live a life based on a higher power, based on a relationship with a higher power, where love and tolerance is my code, where I wake up and I think of making honesty, tolerance, and true love of man and God my basis of daily living. That's a tall order. That's a tall order. I woke up this morning and the basis of my life was get some breakfast and try and get my daughter out of the house peacefully. Anyway, I love this meeting. I can't wait to hear from all of you. So thank you for letting me share. people.
So now we're going to have Sharon back. If you'd like to share, please come up to the front here and sit on the stool so Randy can